Hi, I'm Secretary Derek Ramsey of the Labor Cabinet for the state of Kentucky, and I'm joined by my friend today, Commissioner Stephen Pruitt. And we're here today to talk to you about other opportunities that for our people in the state of Kentucky that they may have not considered. As you look back at education, we've always thought, one has always thought that you can certainly go on to college. But what we want to do is give another opportunity, and what those ways are apprenticeships. So at some point I'll come back on, but I'm going to have my friend say a few words.
Thanks, Secretary Ramsey. This is a great opportunity. We have some great leadership around this area, and it's a very exciting time for us here in the Commonwealth to begin to really make sure that we're not looking at high school diplomas as the end. Sure, K-12 is what is under my purview, but from our perspective here at the Department of Education, we want to build students that are going to live fulfilled and contributing lives for the Commonwealth and beyond. So it's a great opportunity for us to have that conversation and to not think about just high school graduation, but actually put students in a place that they can see themselves in their future. And to me, that's a big part of education, is putting kids into a place that they're doing something with their lives that they may not have considered in the past. So that's why I'm really excited about the opportunities to think about apprenticeships and dual credit. And I'm so happy to be able to do it with some great leadership under Secretary Ramsey. So back to you.
Oh, man, we're having fun up here.
Yes, we are.
And we've been talking about this for a while. So
yes,
good.
Sir.
So anyway, we want to talk about career path. Career and technical education is what we're looking at when we're talking about apprenticeship opportunities. And so as we look forward or move forward into our world today, skills are certainly a way of taking care of your family. As we stated earlier, education isn't the only path. And so when you start thinking about skill sets, there's a shortage of them, not only in the state of Kentucky, but around the country. And so what we're trying to do is we're trying to get young people or people of Kentucky some other options, some other ways of thinking about how they can take care of themselves and, more importantly, take care of their families.
You know, Secretary Ramsey, it's one of the places I think we've seen a big change over the years is with career technical education. You know, years ago we talked about vocational education, and now it's the focus is so much more not about just getting kids jobs, but getting them a career. And the way career and technical education works now is there's such a focus on providing these skills around very real job opportunities that they can have in the future. And the tough thing, I think, especially for some of our students, is that while we may offer that as a class, they may not conceive themselves actually doing that. And so having this partnership between what they experience in school and yet also being able to apply that experience out in the real world, to me is kind of that new vision for where we're headed in career tech. It's so much more than just taking that skill or taking that job, because you can go get a job, but a career means you can actually transfer that. You can do that in multiple venues. Obviously, we want them to contribute to the economy here in Kentucky,
right.
But it also means if the mood is right and if it's right for that family, they can also do that and contribute to the larger society too.
You know, and as you stated, that's one of the really cool things about the apprenticeship program. As you mentioned, when you get certified, you're now certified to go with the other 49 states in the country. To further interest our young people out there, people that may be of an interest. We're working on a project over in Louisville currently. And I was informed by the construction company that they were taking part now in the Atlanta Falcons Stadium. They were also taking part in the New Orleans airport. Now, interesting enough, the greater Atlanta area is 2 million plus. I'm not sure how many in New Orleans, but they had to come and get some employees from here in the state of Kentucky. And so when you look at not only the need for skilled workers here in the state of Kentucky, but nationally.
Yeah.
And, of course, over in Europe, they've been doing this for hundreds of years. And so now we're not just catching up, but also to think you touched another point when we were talking about careers. 100 years ago, when I was in high school, you had one side, the academic side, a vein, if you would, or an off-ramp, and then the other side was vocational. And so what has occurred over the last 40 years is that people have stigmatized it. They've squeezed it out. They've talked about how these aren't the really smart people, which you and I beg to differ on that thought process.
Absolutely.
However, you fast forward that to where we are today, because many, many years ago, pre-computer, pre-all the fiber optics, it was all about the hands, back, and just a good day's work, which is what our country was known for. And so what has happened, you fast forward that, here we are 40 years later. You know, Microsoft is here to stay, but our infrastructure is crumbling right in front of us. Our airports are crumbling, our roads are crumbling, our buildings are crumbling. You can't build those with a computer.
Right.
Good day's work.
Yeah, yeah. And being able to actually take that and see that work product, I think, is something that unfortunately sometimes in our schools we're not always able to see. You know, the idea of you know, and I love how you put that there were these two different on-ramps or off-ramps even. But you know, what we know in today's society is there's more congruence between knowledge base, some core knowledge that needs to go between them. Soft skills, for instance, being able to show up to work on time, being able to have perseverance on being in the job. That those things have kind of come closer together, and I think that the vision that we share is that we don't really talk about an academic side of the house and career tech side of the house, but we actually talk about how we're really focusing on children and make sure those students have any opportunity they want when they leave high school.
You know, and what's also really cool about this is this guy that we both work for, he being Governor Bevin, has set aside $15 million for this project. And a lot of times people look at things as competitively, but we're here together, you know, to announce this and talk about the incredible things that we look forward to for our young people and for people in the state of Kentucky.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very appreciative of the fact that Governor Bevin did set this money aside and giving opportunities for students to have dual credit throughout their school experience. Again, it's one of those things where we have some kids who still would be first-generation college graduates. And when I say college, to be clear here for our audience, I want to be clear that I'm not talking about university. But two-year college, technical college, and being able to actually see themselves be successful there. And so to me, that's the real magic of dual credit, is putting kids in a place that they say, you know what, I can be successful.
Right. You know, an interesting part about that, as you touched on it, it's just not that we're anti-university, and I want to specifically be crystal clear about that. We're not anti-junior college or community college, four-year college. What we're saying is this is another opportunity for you.
Absolutely.
And it's not a job. We're talking about people that will have an opportunity to provide for them, for their families, for the rest of their lives.
That's right. Yeah, I know you know this. You know, our core guiding principles here at KDE are equity, achievement, and integrity. And to me, this is a big piece of that, of all three of those.
That's right.
One being providing an opportunity so that students, when they cross the stage of graduation, can do anything they want to do. Some are going to go to university. Some are going to go to technical college. Some are going to go straight to work. We have so many kids now that are graduating high school with licensures that in the past they may not have had opportunity to. This dual credit opportunity will give even more kids the chance to graduate with college credit. So there goes to your achievement.
Right.
And then the integrity, to me, is we have a moral imperative to make sure that every kid has those opportunities.
Right.